Hello and welcome to Carl Fix. We're going to do a quick solar update today. If you've not watched any of my videos before, I have a 3.6 kilowatt solar array on my roof and a 5 kilowatt hour battery installed. If you want to see the install, more details about that, go watch a previous video. This is about where we're up to now as I'm coming close to a year with solar. But I want to talk about tariffs and how they really make a difference to your solar savings going forward. But we'll give a quick cost update as we're here. So this is 2024. I got my install in mid-April. So you can see there it goes down through the summer and up in the winter. Total of £626 minus standing charge. And now Octopus allow you to add the standing charge on. So £800 including standing charge. You've got to bear in mind that prior to me getting solar, my electricity bill alone was around £185 a month. So even in the worst months here, I'm saving £40 or £50. And obviously in the good months, I'm saving well over £100 a month with a solar install. If we click to 2025 here, you can see £238 used so far. January, a particularly bad month, and I'll get into that shortly. But I've exported £15 so far this year, and last year exported 70. So off this total, you can obviously take £70 off because that is what I was paid for additional electricity that I produced and sold back to the grid. So £730 for 24 and £215 for 25 so far, let's say. So we're under £1,000. The price cap is what, £1,800, £2,000. So we're way under the price cap by using solar, even with the standing charge included. But what I wanted to talk about really was the difference between tariffs and how they really can affect how much you're being charged, even with solar and battery installed. So if I switch to month on here and go to January 25, where we had the £160 bill, you can see there's some very large days here, £8 a day. And the reason for this is because I was on Octopus Agile. And since I've been on Agile from last April up until November, December time last year, there's always been very cheap parts of Agile. So you might get a few hours at 6p. You might get negative prices overnight at 10 or 12p every day. But really, since November, December time, Agile has not had those cheap drops. So overnight, it's still been 18, 19, 20, 21p. So even if you charge your battery overnight to cover those peak spikes in Agile, because if you don't know, Agile runs either at a lower rate overnight and it spikes a bit about 8 o'clock in the morning till 9, and then it runs at a lower rate, and then 4 until 7 it has a peak rate that's usually between 35 and 40p. But over the last few months, we've seen it go to 99p. It's been 60p, 70p, 80p. And if you can't cover those spikes with your battery, you end up with amounts like this per day. So what I want to say about Agile is I've done a couple of comparisons, because if I click over to February now, you can see these with the pink dots on the top here is where I changed to Go. I don't have an EV, so I can't go on Intelligent Go, so I'm on normal Octopus Go. Octopus Go is 8.5p from 12:30 at night to 7:30 in the morning, I think. Every night, guaranteed 8.5p, and it's 24p in the day. So you might find that Agile has slightly cheaper rates in the day. But the problem is overnight, it's not cheap enough to charge your battery. So you're still charging your battery most of the time. At the minute, anyway, 18, 19, 20, 21p. So on a day like today, or it's been like the last week or so, where it's sunny, I'm charging at 8.5 pence here overnight, and my battery and my panels are covering me most of the day. And then once my batteries run out, when it gets dark, now it's sunny, I'm being charged 24p. What was happening on Agile, and especially when it was dull weather and I wasn't able to keep my battery charged, is I was charging overnight at maybe 16, 17, 18, 19p, which is obviously 10p more than the go rate. My battery was running out by early afternoon. Then I was having to either recharge at the rate that was in the afternoon, which at the time was 23, 24, 25p, to cover the 60, 70, 80p spike. And I know Agile has stabilized a bit now, but it's still nowhere near as competitive as it used to be. So if you see here, I mean, the worst day I've had on Go is £6 and 2p. The rest of them are all £3 or £4. Whereas on Agile, you can see there's a lot of days that are a lot higher. Some of the days are the same, but you don't get these spikes with Go. Look, there's so many of them going back through January, especially, and December, where Agile was more expensive. And what I would say is, I'm a big fan of Agile, and I probably will move back to it in the summer. But until you see consistent pricing that's less than 10p, Agile on average will not be cheaper for most people. I have my Octopus Go app here. I can't get it up on screen now, but I'm just going to compare a couple of things for you. So Octopus Go, for me, last week cost £20. Agile would have cost me 24. Over the last month, Go was a total of £107 and Agile would have been 130. It's a total cost saving of £27. So the average rate, because I'm charging a battery overnight and the rest is at 24p, for the last month on Go was 18p. And the average price on Agile was 24p. For the last week, where it's been sunnier, the average price on Agile would have been 23, and the average price on Go is 17. And I know people will say about load shifting, but I'm also load shifting with Go because it's 8.5p at night. I'm washing clothes at night. The dishwasher goes on at night. My battery is charging at night. And then I don't have to deal with that massive spike at 4 to 7 p.m. of 30, 40, 50, 60p, whatever it is on the given day for Agile. So for me right now, Agile just isn't the tariff to be on. I mean, even if you have a battery, say 20 kilowatt battery, and it covers you all day and all night, you would still be better off on Go because you can charge at 8.5p and use the 8.5p electricity all day. Whereas if you were on Agile now, I think the cheapest rate on Agile for today is 13p, I think it is. Average price for the day on Agile is 21p. Off-peak average 19p. You can see here, look, 41 pence on the peak time. And the cheapest, what is 15p, is it there? Like, it says here, doesn't it? Like, let's have a look. So over 10, so there's nothing under 10p, and there's 5 slots between 10 and 15 pence. But to get that lower average, you've got to make sure all of your electricity usage is in those times, else you get hit by these prices here, which are obviously way more expensive. And you also have an expensive period between 6 and 9 in the morning. So on average, it's 21.5p, and the average of, if you did no load shifting on Go, and had 8.5p overnight and 24p in the day, Go's an average of 20p. So for Agile to be cheaper, you need substantial amounts of time under 15p, under 10p. And at the moment, those periods just don't exist. And also, Go gives you a consistency that you know that every night you've got 8.5 pence electricity. You never know on Agile what's coming up the next day, really. And especially if your battery cannot cover you through these periods here, you will never hit the average of Go. Even when I was on Agile and the 4 to 6 period was more expensive, I was still recharging my battery between 2 and 4 at 15, 16, 17, even 20 pence to cover this time. And that is my point, that Agile can be amazing if the weather is correct. If we're in the summer and the sun is shining and the wind is blowing and you get minus prices and prices under 10p for most of the day or a substantial amount of the day. But on the current status of Agile, where the average price is the same as Go, to me, the no-brainer is to go on Go or an equivalent tariff from Tomato or even Eon. Eon do a better rate than Go. I think they have from 12 till 7 in the morning, it's 6.5p and like a 23p day rate if you want to move to Eon. The consistency of the lower average currently is beating out Go price-wise. When the sun comes out shining, the weather warms up, the wind comes out, we might see that we get back to the constant under 15 pence day rates of Agile, and the average is better to move back to that and cover the peaks with your battery. But right now, on Go, I wish I'd have moved to Go in December. I'd have saved a lot more money moving on to Go earlier. Whereas I've only done it over the last month, and I've saved, what, 30 odd pound since I've gone to Go over Agile. And I know I'm rambling a bit, but that is really what I wanted to say today. That one is, don't be precious about being with Octopus. Don't be stubborn. Yes, you see the ups and downs of Go. You can go on the app or the website with Octopus now and change smart tariff as long as you've got solar and battery or some other kind of smart home technology. In a click of a finger, it'll just change. There's no point being stubborn to a tariff on Octopus. Like I say, I wish I'd have turned to Go 3 months ago and saved all the money I would have saved December and January, and now obviously half of February, and gone off Agile. And tomorrow, if I'm not going back to Agile until the Agile rate shows a consistent run of period that is well under, say, 15p, especially overnight. Overnight, it has got to be running well under 15p to get the averages you're going to get with Go. And like I say, I'm rambling on now, so I'm going to stop this recording here. You tell me what you think about Agile compared to Go in the comments. Have you jumped from Agile? Have you jumped to a different provider? But for me, right now, whether you've got batteries that cover you all day or no smart technology or just solar panels, you will not be better off on Agile. So there's no point being stubborn to Agile. It takes 2 minutes to switch. I would advise anyone to do it. And if you want to switch to Octopus, I'll leave a link in the description where there's a code and you'll get 50 quid. I'll get 50 quid. It's not sponsored or out. Everybody gets these links when you sign up to Agile. Just a referral code does me a favour. Will do you a favour if you want to move to Octopus. and choose one of their smart tariffs. And I will leave that recording there, and I will talk to you on the next video. Thanks a lot.